Hello, dear viewers, and welcome to a new episode of Games and Names. Our sport for this episode is weightlifting, and our featured star guest is Olympian Mohammed Ihab Youssef. So let's get to know more about weightlifting and about our featured star national team player and Olympian Mohammed Ihab Youssef in the upcoming minutes of Games and Names. Olympic weightlifting or Olympic style weightlifting, often simply referred to as weightlifting, is a sport in which the athlete attempts a maximum weight single lift of a barbell loaded with weight plates. The two competition lifts in order are the snatch and the clean and jerk. The snatch is a wide grip, one move lift. The clean and jerk is a close grip, two move lift. Each weightlifter receives 3 attempts in each, and the combined total of the highest 2 successful lifts determines the overall result within a body weight category. Body weight categories are different for male and female competitors and change over time. A lifter who fails to complete at least one successful snatch and one successful clean and jerk also fails to total, and therefore receives an incomplete entry for the competition. The clean and press was once a competition lift, but was discontinued due to difficulties in judging proper form. In comparison with other strength sports, which test limit strength with or without lifting aids, weightlifting tests aspects of human ballistic limits, explosive strength. The lifts are therefore executed faster and with more mobility and a greater range of motion during their execution than other strength movements. The lifts performed in the sport of weightlifting, and in particular their component lifts, squats or deadlifts or cleans, for example, are commonly used by elite athletes in other sports to train for both explosive and functional strength. In each weight division, lifters compete in both the snatch and clean and jerk. Prizes are usually given for the heaviest weights lifted in each and in the overall, the maximum lifts of both added. The order of the competition is up to the lifters. The competitor who chooses to attempt the lowest weight goes first. If they are unsuccessful at that weight, they have the option of re-attempting at that weight or trying a heavier weight after any other competitor has made attempts at the previous weight or any other intermediate weights. The barbell is loaded incrementally and progresses to a heavier weight through the course of the competition. Weights are set in 1 kilogram increments. If 2 athletes lift the same weight, they are both credited with it, but in terms of placing, the one who lifted the weights first gets the highest placing. During the competition, the snatch event takes place first, followed by a short intermission, and then the clean and jerk event. There are 2 side judges and 1 head referee who together provide a successful or failed result for each attempt based on their observation of the lift within the governing body's rules and regulations. My name is Mohammed Ihab Youssef. I was born in the governorate of Al Fayoum in Upper Egypt on the 21st of November of the year 1989. I come from a sports family. My father was a weightlifting champion. I started in Fanta in 2002, and I was national champion. So was the case in 2003. My father was keen that I would continue my studies, and school was really backing me up, both academically and in the sports field. 2 years later, I became a member of Egypt's national youth team. Then I succeeded in being picked for the national youth team in real tough qualifiers and tests, as 8 players only out of 30 champions were allowed to be part of that team. I participated then in the International Czech Championship, where I finished 5th, and from there on I was picked to the senior men's team as I played the following Arab Championship in Aswan and achieved 3 gold medals, and I have been a member of the senior team since then. We are suffering from the lack of financial resources. Can you imagine that we only get 130 Egyptian pounds for winning the national championship? You can imagine how hard we tried and how much we sacrificed and how much we also spent to reach that level. As for members of the national team, they only get something like 700 Egyptian pounds per month. We need more help and we need more financial resources to continue our successes. We need the officials to listen to us more and to help us solve our problems. And again, we need more resources. This game is not easy at all. This sport is actually very hard. It is not a field for experiments. The most important thing is the will. And if there is a will, you will find a way. If you have a good style, good technique, and are really smart, this is not enough. You have to have the determination. And the coach's main task is to focus on the strengths of the player he has, while the player has to make a lot of sacrifices, financial sacrifices, emotional sacrifices, all types of sacrifices, moral sometimes. The tunnel of sacrifice, this is how I call it, is very important. Don't wait for reward. Don't wait for money. Just give and wait for that day. Wait for your moments in time. When I achieve records, personal records, I feel that God is with me and is helping me while nobody is noticing. Many times when you come to that very important moment when the hard work of and sacrifice of a year or perhaps years comes to instants, seconds, and minutes, you have to be confident. And I feel that the strength I get at these times is coming from God. When I lifted the 201, I really felt I was supported from up there. I love challenges. I don't like the easy stuff. I like to solve problems. I like to see problems and overcome them. And this is why I say that the exercise has to be very hard, very tough, strenuous. In competition, in events, in tournaments, a lot of things appear that may not appear in exercises. It is possible that a number that I scored some 6 months ago would not be achieved during the competition. It is also possible to achieve a number higher than the number I scored just a week ago during a competition. What I have learned from the experience of tournaments, competitions, and events is that you should not put a limit to your dreams or your potential numbers, to your ambition. You should have limitless ambition. One time I was putting for myself a 62 or 63 kilogram lift as a ceiling, and it's true, I couldn't trespass it. But that was because I believed it was the ceiling. I shouldn't have thought this way. I had to stretch myself out emotionally as well. I'm not the type, and a champion is not the type that, gets nervous when he sees a competitor, an opponent, doing well in lifts during competition, because simply a champion is self-confident, not arrogant, but self-confident. I have a certain rhythm and a certain target. I know, for instance, that a range of from 360 to 365 kilograms in all overall lifts would get me bronze. A range from 365 to 370 would get silver. A range from 370 to 375 and over would get gold. Usually, before tournaments, you focus on the jerk and you try to improve on that number and work on it prior to tournaments continuously and strenuously. But as for the clean, you have to be ready very early. And usually, the clean numbers, cannot be moved easily. Now, when I come to the stadium, I always remember the first day I came to the stadium. I felt that the gate was very big. But as you get older and as you achieve, you find that the world around you is getting smaller, and that your lifts are now easier and lighter. The only thing that gets bigger is your love and passion for the place and for the sport. In this place, I always used to come to get beaten by 4 champions. They always came superior, but I had the determination and the will to overcome them and become number 1. I really stayed steadfast in very difficult conditions. And with little resources. I have traveled to and played with places and people I never thought I would see. You have to dream that you can grab the moon. And if you dream that, you will grab the moon. It's a matter of ambition.
مش البطل اللي هيتهز بان حد يشيل، ما هو كتير بيشيل بس انت بتبقى عارف.
I always try to forget the problems, forget the frustrations, and forget the psychological setbacks and stay focused. In weightlifting, you have to stay focused and you have to renew your will and determination and your ambition every day. Your ambition should be a championship and a medal. And if you think this way, you will get there. I start planning for my training on Friday night. Of course, I wake up early and after the dawn prayer, I go to train. Before that, I put a frame for what I want to do. I want to gain a step every day, a step forward. This is a must for continuous success. And that step doesn't have to be a new number. It could be speed, it could be a new technique, a new style, even a mood while you are lifting. But there has to be something new. There has to be an added value each and every day and a step forward. And so I plan for my exercises as I do for competitions, for events, for tournaments, for competition day. Of course you feel pain, incredible pain actually, after each and every exercise. And this depends on the degree of concentration and the type of exercise. If you are in the gym, for instance, you feel pain in the shoulders, in the elbows. And if you are practicing physical fitness, you could have muscle strain, your calves could be hurting, and sometimes you run out of breath really. But you have to learn how to live with pain. You have to adapt with that. Without pain, there is no gain. And without pain, you will not improve your numbers. If you want to get your number, you can do it usually with 80% effort. If you want to preserve 90% of your numbers, you can probably reach that with the 70% effort. But if you want to improve your numbers, if you want to compete for medals, if you want to go for first, when sometimes all that differs is a kilogram or two, you have to reach the stage of actual pain and endure that pain. Not the pain of just a single day, the pain of a day, of a week, and of a month, until you come to realize that this is your new level of endurance, of resilience, of stamina.